Thank you so much for joining in. I see folks who've been really supportive of us, who've been here since the first webinar we had back in April. Thanks a lot, really appreciate that. Again, I'm the host, Fred Kithinzi, CEO at Belva Digital, a digital marketing technology company. Today, we introducing to you Axis. Axis is a product we've been working on for the last 16, 17 months. We'll talk more about it, but first I'll introduce my co-speaker, Harriet. Harriet is our product manager. She'll introduce herself briefly.
Thanks again for joining. My name is Harriet Mutiso. I'm the product manager for Axis, and this is a big day for us, so we're excited to have you here.
All right, thank you, Harriet. I think you can present the screen and get right to it.
Okay.
So guys, for us, this is more of a soft launch. As mentioned, we've been working on the product for, you could say, about 16 or so months. And basically what we're doing with Axis is we're bringing digital communications and payments in one place. We've been in the industry for about 7, 8 years now. Worked with a number of organizations, and I think the biggest challenge we've seen is there's so many channels, a lot of fragmentation. You have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have your WhatsApp, your SMS, your email, and all these channels are sitting in different places. So what you're doing with Axis is you're bringing this under one ecosystem, and ultimately also bringing payments, because at the end of the day, as organizations, you are looking for growth. So as you can see in this diagram, we're calling it the Unified Customer Experience Platform. On the left side, you can see the multiple channels, from your WhatsApps to your Twitter DM, to your Messenger, to your email, to your basics of SMS and phone calls as well. All this being brought into one, aggregated into one platform, providing businesses with an interface, a simplified interface to connect, interact with customers. You're going to hear me talk a lot more about unification and simplification. You're also going to hear about interactions and transactions, because we believe those are the two things that, together they create demand for businesses. They allow you to be able to grow. As you can see, some of the screenshots, you can be able to do your interaction, select your channel of engagement, and ultimately be able to process payments. At the heart of this, at the heart of the platform is we have the audience center, because remember, ideally you're communicating with customers, and for you to engage the customers, you have to have a database. So we're allowing you to import your database from other channels that you're currently using. We're allowing you to manually create audiences, and we'll be able to take you through the actual process of doing that. Ultimately, we also allowing you to segment, because at the end of the day, we're living in the time of hyper personalization. If I'm a father, I want to receive things that are relevant to me. If I don't like ice cream, I don't expect to receive communication about ice cream or a particular brand. So we want businesses to be at a place where they actually segment their audiences to be relevant to the customer, as opposed to just having a generic data dump of all the communication. And then subsequently, we have now the multiple channels. We've done, WhatsApp introduced the API a year or so ago. We played around a lot with it. One of the use cases we've been able to do is what you're seeing on your right, the standard group WhatsApp bots, that's allowing Kenyans to be able to buy the e-paper. Of course, because of COVID, this is one of the things that we're able to quickly bring to market. We're sitting in a place where you're no longer probably moving about as much as you used to, and this bot allows you to subsequently be able to access a soft copy of the actual e-paper. And of course, the price is lower; it's 3 times cheaper. So again, there's a cost element. There's also ability to read it at your own convenience at time. So basically, for the automation, WhatsApp automation, what you're doing is you're looking at user experiences that can be automated. You're living in a space where 70% of the conversations you're having with your customers today can be automated. Most of them, if you're a bank, they'll be asking you, do you have an account for young people? Do you open on Saturdays? What time are you closing? So you find a lot of this, questions and interactions can actually be automated, which leaves the agents to handle a bit of the harder work. So we want to be more strategic. We want to support your customer experience teams to be able to focus on more heavy lifting and leave the automated tasks to be easily done using bots and automation or AI, if you like. So you're able to send notifications. If you're in the e-commerce space, you can be able to, share products that for example, if you have a sale in August, I was told yesterday it's World Breast Feeding Month. So if you're in the space where you're providing products for women, mothers, you probably have an offer, you'll be able to push that out on WhatsApp. You're able to monitor subsequent interactions, between users. When someone places a product or buys a product, you can be able to tell them when delivery is. Most of the time that's a critical element. When am I getting a product that I bought 2-3 days ago? And as mentioned earlier, payments is really at the heart of what you're trying to do. So you'll see we will integrate payments and especially mobile money or M-Pesa in our case, in Kenyan's case, to allow that to happen very seamlessly. And that's what we are calling the conversational commerce experience, allowing conversations to happen and payments to happen within the same ecosystem. I'll allow you guys about 2 minutes or so to experience the bot. I think the instructions in the next slide. I know some of you might have. I've seen some familiar faces, but if you haven't, save this number to your WhatsApp or to your contacts, and then go to WhatsApp, look for it. Save it as the ePaper standard, or Belva bot or Axis bot, and then send the word news to that number, and then you'll be able to experience a very simplified automation flow. And unfortunately, this will work for the payments. Will only work if you have M-Pesa. I believe 90% of Kenyans have M-Pesa, an M-Pesa enabled line, so that shouldn't be too much of trouble. If you have any questions, any challenges, feel free to send them on chat. We can be able to assist you as you go. Thank you, Kevin. See, Kevin, you're really liking it. Appreciate it. All right, and 30 seconds or so to see. All right. So I'm hoping at least you guys have been able to play around with it. Been able to access the e-paper. So you'll see that at some point, I know most of you are expecting to be sent a PDF. We really can't do that because, again, you'll certainly send it to your friends and then Standard Group will not be making the money. So unfortunately, that bit we have to send you to the e-reader platform. But I'm sure you've seen we've simplified that to your phone number becomes your password, so to avoid asking you for so many details. So again, that automation bit can be extended. So if in the banking space, we're currently building a WhatsApp banking platform for one of the banks here, allowing you to do the same thing, be able to transact on WhatsApp, be able to get your bank statement, request for money, be able to deposit, and so forth. If in the insurance space, you can be able to do the same thing, request for policy, be able to transact and engage with customers. So again, we're in a stage where we want to be able to. We've seen users are very, very wary of downloading another app. I know we got into the app space about 4 or 5 years ago, and everyone had an app, and we all loved downloading apps. But we also at this moment, we only download apps that really make our lives easier. So we're also coming into an integration space where we're saying instead of building another app separately, why not integrate into one of the most used apps in the world? 2 billion users use WhatsApp, monthly. In Kenya, it's 90% of Kenyans are using WhatsApp. So instead of building another separate asset, you could integrate into where the customers are, to avoid a longer journey of acquiring. Because at the end of the day, we are business people. We want to acquire customers. We want to retain. We want transactions to occur. So for us, we're looking at WhatsApp as an ecosystem we can build on. If some of you guys are familiar with WeChat, there's a lot that has been built into WeChat. You can do your e-commerce, you can buy your groceries, you can be able to do your banking on the same ecosystem. So that's what we're thinking. That's the general direction that we are going into. Thanks all for the feedback. I think most of you seem to be very impressed with it. Then ultimately, we bring it to the WhatsApp helpdesk. I can go to you can click next to bring out the notes as well. So as mentioned earlier, we know there are elements where you can automate. So like you said, 70% of conversations can be automated. But we still have, about 30% of conversations where users desire a human interaction element. So you want an agent to actually log in and be able to handle your queries. Automation has its limits. It's a progressing. AI is still relatively new. So we want to provide a hybrid of both. So where you have automation, but at the same time, you also have human engagement capabilities so that you have a smooth experience and customers really get to enjoy the benefits of that. Now, we've built a complete helpdesk on WhatsApp. That's going to allow you to have multiple agents log into our web dashboard to be able to handle all the conversations coming through WhatsApp. And supervisors or managers, you're able to see the volume of conversations that have come in, which agent is handling what are the most frequently handled questions, and so forth. Ultimately, if you're more than a one-man business, you need to be able to scale your WhatsApp customer experience, because if it's a small shop with only one person, the WhatsApp for Business application will work for you. But if you have multiple agents that need to log in and handle multiple queries, then you need to expand that, and that's what this WhatsApp helpdesk is doing. As mentioned, we'll take you through the actual demo, so don't worry. This is just a view of it, of the platform. So you have your view of your agents, you have a view of your conversations, and you're able to manage tickets and so forth. Then the next slide. Again, you get your reports, you get to see which agent is online, which agent is offline. As you can see on the left side, you get data on total messages you've received, how many messages have been responded to, what is unassigned, what is solved. So insights that really help you to become a better business and also become better at managing your customers and improving the experience overall. All right, and as mentioned, WhatsApp is our anchor product because again, we all use, I'm sure if you go to your most recent apps, WhatsApp is there. As mentioned, our goal is to bring all this together. So we're not just building for WhatsApp, but we're building for multiple other communication channels. SMS has been there for years. It's still going to be there as a channel for engagement. We want to be able to provide the same experience, one platform, multiple channels. So you can come into the platform, you can be able to do your bulk SMS, but we've done better. We've gone into segmentation, we've gone into personalization. You can be able, and most of us, the SMS is always come with, dear customer, here is your statement. Dear customer, our app is not working today. I'm sure we'd love it if it was, dear Fred, apologies for XYZ, we are fixing this and that. So we are getting into that space because, again, remember from the audience center, we have the contacts. So why not personalize that interaction as opposed to just assuming we are all dear customers? Then, you get reports similarly. The next slide, you'll be able to see you can get your reports based on, messages delivered, successful, unsuccessful, and credits as well. So you buy your credits, you're able to use it. The next slide, we also got into email. If you're into business, for businesses, email still remains important. Most of us, I'm sure after you've done your social media, the next thing you look at is your email. What has come in, what has gone on. We don't mind getting notified about our brands that we follow. If you have If you have an account with a particular bank, then emails becomes important. If you have someone who sells you nice shoes, sometimes it would be nice if they sent you a nice collage of photos and so forth. So we've also integrated email, but also very simplified it to be very as simple as sending out an SMS. I know a lot of small organizations, small businesses, we've shied away from email marketing because it sounds so complicated, so we've broken down to the bare bones and make it very simple to actually send out an email to your database of customers. Payments, so we integrating with payments, providing a very seamless way, as you've seen with if you've tried out the standard one, you've seen it's very easy to do the payment for M-Pesa. We don't want to take you away from the experience to go to M-Pesa, here's a pay bill number, here's the account number. We want to be able to bring all this together. So at the moment, we've started with mobile money, but we're expanding into cards and bank transfers to provide a more unified experience altogether. I think the next, this is just a dashboard of how you can expect your payments to look like. So users who've tried to pay you, how much you've collected, what was the success rate. So you get this view also on your dashboard. All right, so some of the benefits you can enjoy with this platform, as mentioned, I've reiterated, we simplify and we also unifying. So you're getting one view for your digital communications or payment, one platform. And then ultimately segmentation is important. That's what keeps customers loyal to you and you retain them because they feel you understand them. Let's move away from dear customer to dear friend, dear Harriet, dear Joan. We're providing local support. So this solution is built by our teams. We've taken a lot of time on it. This product we want to build for the years to come. We've also been very cost conscious. We removed a lot of barriers, so we don't have a monthly fee for this. We don't charge you the standard, Western way of approaching software as a service. So you're not necessarily paying for a monthly fee to access this. You only pay when you use. So if you need to send out a few, you want to use WhatsApp, you only pay for the messages that you've been exchanging. So even if you exchange 10 messages, you only pay for the 10. If you exchange 10,000, you only pay for the 10,000 and so forth. I think now with all that conversation, we'll shift into the actual demo. Harriet will take you through briefly, and then you guys, I'm sure you probably have some questions. We can get into that. Over to you, Harriet. You're
okay.
mute. There you go. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, so I'm going to transition to the product demo, and this will be in two parts. I'll start out with, the simple process of being able to create an account, and then I'll move on to SMS and email campaigns, and then I'll send it back to Fred so that we can talk about the WhatsApp help desk as well as credit management. And then for this demo, I'll be using data that I've already created so that we can be recognizant of time. You'll notice that we've made this process as simple as possible and for anyone to be able to onboard themselves without, much support. So I created an account. I'm calling my shop Harriet Shop. And once you log into the account, you're able to see the dashboard. Again, our pillars are simplicity to use, being able to onboard yourself with minimal support, and also a clean and cut, kind of UX. Okay, this is our dashboard. It's very simple. There are a few things that you will notice that we've focused on or we've implemented on. And the first one is what Fred just talked about, which is basically audience center or a customer dashboard, if you want to call it that. And then segmentation, which Fred also talked about, being able to categorize your customers into different segments so that everyone is not bulked up to one database. And then credit management, just being able to manage your credit. At the end of this demo, we'll also talk about how to top up, how to manage your credit for the different accounts and for different channels that we already have. With that in mind, I'm going to move on to audience. So basically, this is where we create our audience. I've already created a number, but I just wanted to take a few seconds and show you how to create your dashboard. It's quite simple. We understand that sometimes you don't have all the data that you need. You don't have all the names of your customers. You don't have all the emails for your customers, but you could have at least one name. You could have at least one number. So we've made some of the fields mandatory, others are not. And then you'll notice that when we talk about segmentation, this is what we were talking about, being able to create a category for your customers. So for this case, I'm going to create one just to give you a feel. Let's use a random number. I apologize in advance if that's someone's number. And then instead of picking the categories that I have, I'm going to put this as demo so that it's clear that that's the one that I've created. And then I'm going to pick it from here. You can see I've already created a number of segments just to ensure that we have that in place. I'm going to save this. And you can see Janice has been updated. That's our name, that's our email, that's our number, and then the segment is different. Like I mentioned, there are two ways of doing this. You can do this as a single contact or you can import. And the reason we did this is to ensure that if you have over, let's say five customers, you don't have to create one at a time. You can use a CSV file and upload it. So it's very straightforward. You'll notice I'll keep talking about simplicity and easy to use and straightforward. You download the template. I've downloaded a number just to show you guys, and then you pick the contact you upload, and then they will be able to appear on this list. Okay. Moving on, if you have any questions, remember to include them in our chat. I'm going to move on to SMS channel. Again, the layout is the same, and as Fred mentioned that, we've made this very simple, very straightforward for anyone who wants to use bulk messaging. So there are two ways of creating a campaign. You can either create a template or you can create an SMS from scratch. And the reason we did this is one, because a template means that it's something that can be repeated over and over. So for example, if you have sales in July, you don't have to keep on creating a new message for sale. So I'm going to show you how to create a template. And then for the email, I'll go straight to the email body so that you can see a variation of both. I'm going to create a new template. Let's call it demo template for Access. This is, you'll notice that the body is mandatory. And then we give an option to be able to input, for example, if I wanted to put the name of my company or the logo for my company or the website for my company, something like that. This will be sent as part of the message. I save my template, it will appear here. And if I wanted to start a campaign, I can easily pick it from here. And then instead of typing this all over again, I pick the template, for example, the one that I just created, make this fun, let's say demo day, pick my audience. Remember we talked about segmentation, being able to send to a specific category of customers instead of sending to everyone. So I'm gonna select a specific category. And then we created a sender ID that anyone can use. But if you're interested in having your sender ID customized, there's something else that we can also do for you. And Fred will talk about more of that when we're talking about our settings page. And then just before I forget, one of the key things or feature that we're really proud of is being able to personalize. And we've talked deeply on this, being able to receive a message that has your name. It's just not dear customer. And then if I send this out, it will update for me. This is part of our reporting structure to ensure that you are aware of what's being sent out. We have situations where you might be the entrepreneur, but you have people working under you. So you have access to this information, being able to see what has sent out when, and to what customers. We also implemented you're able to view a campaign, you're able to delete campaign, the usual user experience categorization. And then I just wanted you guys to know that as we work on this, you will notice that the SMS credit is being deducted so that you're able to keep tally of how much have you spent at any given time. And when we go to credit management, you'll be able to see what happens when I top it up. It's a usual calculation of if I use it, my credit depletes. If I update it, my credit is updated accordingly. Okay, I'm going to move on to email. Again, you'll notice it's the same layout, and there was a good reason for this. Like we said, we noticed that most people feel like email is clunky and there's a lot of information. So we try to make it as simple as possible. This is the email body. Instead of me using a template, I'm going to straight on and just show you the layout. It's the same across the board because it's one application that will be used for the different channels that we currently have. The same format, I can use a template, I can personalize the email, the usual things, demo day, this is a good day. And the reason I'm doing this is because I would like to show you guys how they appear when I'm done. And then again, segmentation has been key for us, and you don't have to segment, you can send to other customers. But we also know that that's a good option when you're creating your customer database. Okay, and then when I send this, again, information is updated. You're able to see who sent what and what date, and the usual read-write management is updated as well. Okay, key to note is that we also working on scheduling campaigns. That's something that will be ready in a few days. Being able to create a campaign, but you schedule it, for optimization purposes. I take a pause here so that you guys can send as many questions as possible, and then we can transition to WhatsApp help desk, which is something else that we're really excited about.
All right. Thank you, Harriet. Well done. Let me share my screen. Hope you guys can see my screen. Hello?
You can see the screen.
All right, very well. All right, thanks a lot. So I get to tell you about the one of the fun products again we have, the WhatsApp Helpdesk. As mentioned earlier, this product really scales customer experience on WhatsApp. So you can be able to take WhatsApp to another level where it's almost an enterprise scale. It's your multiple agents, as mentioned earlier, multiple conversations, you get your reports and so forth. This is the admin view. I think I'll briefly take you through the admin side just to show you how these guys end up here. And you follow my settings, so I'll take you to the setting. So here I'm able to create multiple agents. You can see these two are my agents. I'm able to create administrators. I have active and dormant administrators. So for you to be active, you have to confirm an email that is sent to you. I can create another user here. And then let's call her Jane Doe. And then Jane Doe will have Jane Doe at email@gmail.com. I can say Jane Doe is an agent. The number, no one will get an SMS, so no worry on that. And then she'll be added to the list of agents that I have here. I can be able to promote and demote, so I can come and change Harriet's role to an administrator level, or change her name or email if need be. So that's how you end up with the agents you've seen on the earlier screen. On the channel side, what you've done for WhatsApp, remember it's API based. So we are integrating with the official WhatsApp API. For you to be able to do the exchange of messages, you have to get authorization. So we have a number that is, we're using our sandbox number. So you can see this is a sandbox number that is mapped for this account. So similarly, in your case, if you want to use WhatsApp for Helpdesk, one of the first steps is to get WhatsApp authorization, and subsequently to be able to get that number mapped to this platform. Then you're able to receive messages to that number and be able to address the comments. You've seen with Create Agent, she hasn't logged in, so she'll be treated as offline. But myself and Harriet, we've logged in as agents, and that's why you'll see we're online. So subsequently, I can click on an agent, and then I'll be able to see this conversation. I need help. I see this number came in, and I can say, hello, my name is Fred. My name is Fred. How can we help you today? And then I'll be able to submit the reply, and that user will be able to receive. So once the message is sent, you'll notice that it's no longer new. It moves now to pending. So under pending now, we can be able to have back and forth. I think whoever's number this is, you can send it back to us. And I can be able to, this is one of the conversations from yesterday. And you can be able to, as you can see here, I can be able to manage tickets. I think we can work with this example here. So I can be able to say, I can add a tag. I can say the issue for this tag is mobile, M-Pesa. Then I'll be able to know tickets that come with, I can be able to tag multiple tickets so that I know most of my tickets are usually on what subject or which product or which brand. Over time, that can be able to help you know, from a product perspective, what are the most frequently asked questions, or what are the issues that you need to be able to deal with frequently. I think I can show you from my own number. I think this is my number. I'll be able to, let me send, hello, how can we help you? Once I submit that, on my WhatsApp end, this is my personal WhatsApp, so please don't look at whatever is on the left side. But you can see how can we help you today. Say I have an issue with my device. So basically, just to show you the back and forth conversation. So that message from my actual WhatsApp is going to be subsequently moved to. Is it now pending? Yeah, it's pending, and then allow me to refresh this. And then Fred, yeah, there you go. And then I have an issue with device. You notice all the conversations are tagged. So this agent is, that consumer is tagged as CT. And then this agent Fred is FR. So over time, because multiple agents can handle one ticket. So if anything happens, you're able to have a log of whoever responded to what conversation and at what time. And then as mentioned earlier, you can close this ticket. And that ticket will be moved to one of the closed here. I can escalate. So when I choose to escalate, I can escalate this to Harriet or one of my other agents, and say Harriet is the one who handles with, deals with tickets about that particular product. And subsequently, that ticket is moved to, you go to Harriet, you'll be able to see that's escalated to Harriet. So basically, that's how we're able to manage all the tickets that come in, all the conversations that come into that number, moved to new. You can see another one that has come in. And then you're able to manage, once you respond to it, it moves to pending. You can move it to closed. You can also escalate the same conversation. Subsequently, over time, again, this is a demo account, but you'll be able to get your reports. How many messages have you gotten? What are the new pending closed tickets? What's the average response time, average response rate? Insights that can help you, be able to manage your agent's work. Be able to know which agent is doing what under what time. On the setting side not necessarily on the setting side, but on the credit management, I think that's my other bit. Once you sign up for an account, you're going to get some free credits. I think we're quite generous. You'll have some free, you can send up to, I believe, about 20 SMSs, you can send up to 1,000 emails. So some of your accounts will be topped up. You'll notice there's a free top up on that. But you can always buy your credits. So you can come here and say, I want to buy credits via M-Pesa, and top up your wallet. You can top up your wallet or buy by channel. So I'll be able to put in, say, an amount, and they put in a number, and I say I want to buy for SMS or buy for WhatsApp, and then I pay for credit. I'll get an SDK push on my mobile phone device, and then I'm able to gotten it. I'll put in my PIN. You notice this is 10. So once you refresh this, you notice that I have 15 credits purchased over a period of time. So now that will reflect that. So as mentioned earlier, our model is based on usage. So as you buy on what you need to use. So if you need to send out X number of messages, so you only buy for that volume. If you want to send out for that, you'll be able to buy for that volume and so forth. All right, I think that primarily is about the products. Access, again, a product of Belva Digital. Worked on it for a number of years, number of months, coming from the experience of being in the market for quite some time. And we really want to be able to support businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses that are looking to simplify ways to engage. And now that consumers move digital, we are at a space where we want to be able to provide timely, relevant communication in the channel where they are. Sometimes we communicate the channel that we want to communicate on, not the channel the consumer wants us to be on. That will be it from us.